How can you create predictable, effortless joy? The goal is not to rely on your circumstances and be on autopilot, waiting for someone to bring you joy, waiting for ideal circumstances. That's called destination addiction, right? When we're just waiting to arrive as opposed to feeling joy in the journey. So, this is the concept of predictable joy. It's about creating the conditions in our neural circuitry so that joy is automatic. And I see there being three ways to create this predictable joy. The first one, right? I'm on this journey of becoming superhuman. So the first one is your body. You must condition your body for joy. And the way that you do that is rest like an athlete and train like an athlete. Your body is so much more capable than you think. And when you treat it really well and you don't damage it every single day, you can have a lot more physical energy, right? The research shows us that after a poor night's sleep, your mood is significantly lower. The same with food. Food impacts our mood. So if you're eating a bunch of packaged, high sugar, high fat food, it's impacting your mood. Okay, so we need to condition the body for vitality. What else? We need to condition the brain for gratitude. How can we continually reframe our world in ways that make us laugh and make us happy? And also, how can we condition ourselves to accept the human nature, accept the dysfunction out there, and find humor in it? And one of my greatest practices for doing this is called PDP, psychological distance programming. And it's a practice I do every day. I go on a walk and I talk to myself in third person and I reframe all of yesterday. I'll literally go through the previous day chronologically and I will reframe everything and how it's leading to betterment and how I'm kicking ass. I will literally tell myself, Jacques kicked ass because ... right? So you go through the previous day, you practice reframing everything. That is one way that we can elevate our gratitude. I also incorporate a gratitude journal as the finale to PDP. And gratitude is all about naming the things we often take for granted. One thing that's extra powerful is interpersonal gratitude. When we think of someone in our lives who we shouldn't take for granted, who we should thank, why are we grateful for them? How do they inspire us? So I end my journaling session with a gratitude journal. So we talked about conditioning our body for vitality. We've talked about conditioning our brain for gratitude. We must also condition ourselves for meaningful connections. We must turn off the social autopilot, practice intentional curiosity and engagement, meaning no screen addictions, right? No being on your phone, no being distracted. And we must relearn how to socialize because human connection is the greatest source of joy, right? Our micro interactions and our deep interactions and our deep relationships, they fuel our joy more than anything else. And so if we can consistently create these positive connections with people in our lives, we will be so much happier. So how do we condition ourselves for positive connections? Well, we reflect on our connections, right? So I'm going back to the journaling practice. We must start to give ourselves feedback. We must realize, wow, I was on social autopilot. Oh, I'm grateful that I asked that person that question. So we must critique ourselves to get better. We give ourselves feedback. Then we learn gradually the social behaviors we want to reinforce and celebrate in ourselves and the ones that we don't. if we were super distracted and we didn't explicitly communicate to someone that we had a bunch of responsibilities, that's something I would point out in my journal. And tomorrow I would explicitly communicate to someone, hey, I can't be present with you, right? Or in my journal, I'll notice I asked someone a beautiful question, right? Oh, like what would you love to educate people about? That's one of my favorite questions. I would notice that question and I'd say, hey, I want to ask more people that question. Okay, you see the point. We're giving ourselves feedback so that we can get better every day and condition ourselves for better connections. And the superpower here, if I were to just give you one tip, you got to ask better questions. People suck at being curious. There are thousands of questions that you could ask people to elevate their self-esteem and elevate their mood. And if you want more, subscribe to the Daily Joy Dose. I feature them all the time. And you can also check out my Joymaker Leadership Manual.